So this year has been quite wild for anime and manga, and for all that's worth, it was pretty good. Hello everyone, welcome to the Weeb initiative. I'm your host, the Weeb. This is a show where every other week I'll be talking about anime, manga, and everything in between. This week, as this is the last actual episode of the podcast for this year, I wanted to do an update to the manga list, the things I'm currently reading, and some things that started and ended in 2023, at the very least added to my list and ended in the same year. That being said, let's do it a bit faster than last time. It was 1 hour and a half. This year, I have a few additions to the list, not that much, and outside from that, not so many with content warnings. So, to begin, let me just give a brief overview. This year, I was introduced formally to, let's say, Twitter manga, the manga that independent artists will publish on maybe Funbox, Twitter, Funtia, and some other sites that they are not serialized, but they have this overarching story and so on and so forth that, to be fair, they are pretty entertaining, although they have mostly short chapters. Some of these that I will present have like 2 pages each, but they are pretty fun, it's pretty entertaining, and the art is pretty nice. That being said, let's start. So the first one going on with this Twitter manga kind of stuff is one that I could not find the author for it, though from what I can research, it is being serialized. The English name is A Story About a Very Ordinary Couple. It is a really wholesome, really cute. It's an everyday accounting of life of a couple, and it's just that, it's cute. It's a bit of romance. They are a married couple, newly wed, from what we can gather from the various chapters. They're already out. I think they have around 30 chapters out, I think. And it's just a good time. It's comfy to read. It's not really that... it's not challenging in any way. It's just cute stuff that couples do, and it's really good for that matter. Next one is Dame do Sekai ni Hitori dake no fan. I think it translates roughly to the lame idol that only has one fan. This is more, let's say, similar in some notes, let's say, to things like Teasing Queen Takagi-san and Nagatoro for the most part, though it's pretty cute and wholesome in its own way. Basically, there's this one girl that is an underground idol, and she only has one fan, and the fan, although he flames her a lot, he still goes for all her shows and all her meet and greets because he's a fan, and she's his diehard Oshi, and so that's the whole thing. It's also pretty comfy, not really challenging, and I think it's pretty good. I don't know, something that I picked up this year. Next one is I became the butler of the gloomy young lady in my class. It goes for like 3 pages a chapter. The title already explains most of it. It is also wholesome, cute, and the art is nice. The manga is full color for that matter, which kind of excuses the length of the chapter somewhat, and that's basically it. Next one is a really nice treat. It's Kyo no Yojo, today's cuteness, something like that. And it is the everyday life of a little kid. And basically, it's a little girl that we see her doing her stuff, so playing around and stuff. And it is captured in a way that it is really nice to see. It's pretty creative in some ways. It shows a lot of emotion on the kids' part, and it is pretty fun to read. It feels that weird feeling that we have when you see a little kid learning something and so on, and that childhood wonder, let's say. It's pretty nice in that manner. This next one, I don't actually know if it is a Twitter manga, but I got it here because the chapters are really short for this one, although I'm somewhat sure that it is being serialized. It's called The Temptation of Shirogao and Kurogao. It is pretty formulaic in its mannerism, let's say. There's one girl that's Shirogao and the one that's Kurogao. And basically, every time it goes something like Shirogao goes with a suggestive line for the guy reflects it back to Kurogao because Kurogao has a crush on Shirogao, and the whole thing just works like that. Not much of content, but it's still pretty nice to read. Anyways, the things are short, no matter. And also the art's pretty cute. Next one, dating the kind of girl that you shouldn't get involved with. This one is a weird one in premise, let's say. Basically the idea is that the backstory that you have to know every time is that there's this one girl that she has some kind of trauma, some kind of bad past experience dating guys, and so she develops this persona which she dates guys as a cute girl just to wipe them out of money, and then dumps them and goes on to the next side. The idea is that she started to date this one guy that we mostly see she refers in the first page, and the second page is the fast forward to the future when she became a normal cute wife and they married, and it is just this juxtaposition, I think it's pronounced, I don't actually know, that it's one part where she wants to wipe him out of all his money and he's pretty rich, and then she became basically got cured from her trauma and married into a happy life later on. So all the chapters go with this kind of trope, let's say. Next one is Watashi no oto ga tamaru toshota kasuru. It's basically something like my husband, every time my husband gets stressed, he transforms himself into a shota. A shota, if you don't know, is a little boy. It's the equivalent of a lolly, but for boys. And that the whole story is written on the title. So the guy is a high executive at a firm, and basically whenever he gets stressed, he becomes a little boy for some weird reason, and then only way to get back to normal is when he gets pampered by his wife. It's pretty cute, it's pretty nice. It's close to the first one that I was talking about, a story about an ordinary couple. It's somewhat close, but it has this, let's say, this gimmick for the, let's say, the cute part. But it's pretty good. This one, I know for a fact that it's Twitter. I will leave the... now that I think about it, it's not Twitter anymore, it's X, right? I think that 2023 was the year that Elon Musk said it was now called X. But X is not a good name. I think everybody can agree on that. Anyways, I will leave this guy's... I don't actually remember the name now. This guy's profile on the description, because I think that if I could find every one of the Twitters of everyone here in this list, I would. Though as I am right now, I could not find it. Sorry. But again, his Twitter in the description. He's working on a new series now because the this one that I'm talking about has ended by the middle of the year. So he's working on something else now. Next one is the last one of this Twitter kind of deal. My daughter might be the Demon King reincarnated. Also, the title says it right out. The thing is basically the girl is the reincarnation of the Demon King, and she's living in this normal world with a normal mom, and basically the whole trope is that she flames her mother for something, but then redeems herself in some ways. Most of the chapters are pretty short, by like 10 pages, 5 pages I think, and basically that's it. It's pretty wholesome in its own way and really nice. Now to the normal stuff. So the first one that I want to talk about is one that I added here in 2023 and ended in 2023 too. It has only 10 chapters and it's pretty nice in terms of art. I really like the art style on this one. It's called Assassin and Cinderella. It is the story about a spy, a female spy that's spying on a male assassin, and basically it's something akin to, if you guys remember this old ass movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. It's pretty near that space where two rival corporations, agencies try to spy on each other with this pair of assassins / spy and whatever, and they end up liking each other too much and go off on their own. And this is pretty much it for the most part, though there are some clearly there are some differences because this is written by a Japanese person. It is a difference in story and the way they take the story in many different ways, and a whole lot of things happen. Though, as I said, each chapter has around 40 pages, I think. It has only 10 chapters, unfortunately. I would really like to see more of it, but that's that. Anyways. Next one is Boku to Kimi ga Fufu ni Naru Made. It's basically your normal romance plot, but basically what happens, right? The guy that's going to high school, gets left out by his parents because his parents basically run off with debt and whatever. And for some weird reason, a Gyaru appears out of nowhere in his home, pays out his debt, and basically the only condition is you have to marry me. That's the hook for the story, and it goes out from there. It's somewhat nice. It's pretty entertaining for my taste. It's something that I really like. As I already said multiple times in this channel, for some reason I like gyarus in manga. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Don't at me. Thing is, pretty okay and basically nice. I don't know. Next one is Ishiri's Love is 8 meters. This one I feel conflicted about because, for one, it is written allegedly. I still can't wrap my head around this, but if you guys remember the last manga list from 2022, and I think I mentioned it in some of the reviews this year, there was this one manga called Gamburet Sisters that was this really violent, really greedy take on two nuns that basically hunted vampires and whatever. And the guy ended Gamburet Sisters this year, and then we got this as the next thing that he's working on. I don't actually remember the name of the author right now, but still, this is the same guy who did Gamburet Sisters is doing this. And title says it all. So Chiri is this girl that for some reason somehow grew into being 8 meters tall, and basically lives this somewhat normal school life. And so it's a goofy romance trope that you see everything that the government does to adapt things for her. So giant desks, giant houses, giant a whole lot of things. The whole thing is based on the fact that she's 8 meters tall, but the meat of it, the actual plot, is this standard romance plot that we have seen many times. I know for some people this is somewhat of a fetish. For some reason this is a tag on many hentai sites. I will not enter in the discussion of whether this is something that I like or not. But the thing is, I know that there is public for this, but still I wanted to see more Gamblerhead Sisters, and this is not that good. Now you will ask, why are you adding so many things that you think are mediocre to your manga list? It's because, for the most part, I like to see where authors go, right? So, as I said, the guy did Gamblerhead Sisters, which is a manga that I really liked by the premise, art, and so on and so forth. And now he does this. I want to see if I can, I don't know, trace back something to find something that I actually can find this common thread along the two mangas, and basically profile the author more or less. It's something that it's a work in progress, but I wanted to maybe do an analysis of authors and some things in the future. This goes on that camp of analyzing authors. Next one is Gyaro Assistant, or Gao Assi. It's basically there's this one guy in a school. He writes manga, and for some reason the Gyaro on his class becomes his assistant, and the story goes from there. Romance stuff, you know the standard stuff. This is also pretty. It's okay. It's okay. At the time of recording, I have only read like 3 chapters from this, but it is getting traction on forums and so on and so forth. So maybe there's something here. I don't know. Next one is I Favorite the Villainess. I don't actually think I need to explain much about it. I Favorite the Villainess is getting an anime. I think maybe 2 seasons already. I don't know. I don't actually know. But I think that for 2023 or 2024 they're getting an anime already. It's basically a girl gets trapped inside a otome game that she's playing, and she's in love with the villain of the story, and doesn't actually like any of the guys. She's in love with the villainess of the story, and that's basically it. Next one is the first one that has a content warning for this update. I don't actually think that I added this one in 2022, so it wasn't on the list. So anyways, I don't actually remember the whole title, but you can search Isekai NTR. You'll find it. It's literally the title, Isekai NTR, and then subtitle long as hell. It's an adaptation of a light novel of the same name, and it is, as I said, the title already says everything you need to know. It is an isekai story, and it is an NTR story. But to be fair, the NTR happens a whole lot later than you would think, because they kind of build some kind of ground before actually delivering the NTR part, right? So there is this whole thing that I don't actually remember if he's a con artist or whatever. That's our main character Naoto. He gets transported to this video game world, so levels, skills, the whole thing. And one of his skills is basically vampirism of skills, so he can absorb skills from other people. And one of his things from the normal world that he brought with him is basically that he was somewhat of a con artist. So he basically gets in bed with a lot of girls and absorbs random abilities from random skills from that. And the story goes on and on until he NTRs the wrong person, gets his ally killed in the process, has to forfeit his get back to the normal world a ticket to revive the guy, and basically rewind time to... I'm already spoiling a lot of the story, but I don't actually think many people will actually stop to read this. Though this one I kind of recommend. It's pretty okay, and it's pretty interesting. I will get to that. And basically the world somewhat resets, and now we are in a new arc. The new arc is shaping up to be something, and this is the thing that I wanted to talk about, why this is interesting. So if you are around, let's say, this kind of content, let's say, if you know what NTR is and you actually took your time to actually read some NTR, let's just say you may have some previous knowledge of the, let's say, the shapes of NTR, the way that things are presented. And the interesting thing about Isekai NTR, in my opinion, is that, one, it doesn't actually happen like a whole lot of times, though it happens a lot, but the way that it gets introduced each time is different. And that is the interesting part, that they condense these forms that we already see from, let's say, other places into this really strange concoction of an adventure, and then add NTR into it. And to me, it's pretty interesting that they hit the notes really well. That is to say, it's somewhat of a wild card. If you don't want to read it, please don't. It's not that great, but it's something. It's on the list. It's something that I'm actually actively reading. So, anyways, next one is Kanan-sama wa Akuma de Shoroi. I think the translation that they did was Kanan-sama is too easy. It's basically Nagatoro but twisted. It's the girl that gets teased for the most part, but it's not that she gets teased really. It's because she's the daughter of the Demon King, and she goes up to Earth to basically find her good food, so good souls to actually feast on. But in the middle of it, she finds a guy that actually falls in love with her, and every time he says something cheesy, she gets really flustered, and it's pretty cute. And that's basically it. The next one. This one has, let's say, good DNA, but I'm kind of thinking of dropping it. It's called King's Proposal. From what I gather, it's an original manga. It's not the adaptation of a light novel. It is written by the same guy who did Date Alive, so if you like Date Alive, you may like this. Though, for personal reasons, let's say, I don't like stories where people get possessed or enter the bodies of other people. I don't actually like the Freaky Friday kind of trope, because I don't feel like it adds much, and that always ends the same way. This one, I have not read much of it, though it's coming out still. I don't know, maybe people want to see it. It's still on the list because I didn't actually drop it. So, yeah. Anyways, King's Proposal. The new thing from the same guy who did Date Alive. Next two ones, I want to preface this with, I have not read much, but the title and the art and the whole thing kind of caught my attention, so still holding out for it. The first one is My Lovey-Dovey Wife is a Stone Cold Killer. It is as written. I don't actually need to explain much. It is the same thing that about wholesome stuff mixed with heavy stuff. You can see the trend here. And the next one is the Green Reaper falls in love with a human. The one shot for this one was really well drawn. I really liked the art style, and so this basically hooked me up immediately. Though I have not actually read much of the manga, of the serialized manga for it. Anyways, it's on the list. Next one is Neko no Kohana. It's really cute. It's a guy who lives with his cat girl, and not so much as a, let's say, it's something similar to Nekopara, but the cats are really small, and the cat in this case is a child for the most part. So, for the most part, the cat's a child in this way, so it has a whole lot of added silliness to it. It is pretty funny, it's pretty cute, and overall, a good time. Next one. Oh, I have to keep this one for the end. Oh boy, now I think about it, I have two to keep on the end. Oh well. Next one is Risono Himo. I think I'm reading this wrong. I think it's Hime, but anyways. Seikatsu. It's... Oh man, can I say this? So it's the adaptation of a light novel from what I can remember. That there's this one guy who gets isekai'd to another world, and it's basically our world, but with a little bit of magic imbued into it. It's not so much to be like, oh, another isekai adventure, fantasy kind. No, it's way more civilized and less, let's say, way less fantasy and more geared towards normal human stuff. And the thing that I like about it is that it has a whole lot of politics involved into it. The story is actually well written. It is really, really well written, and it's really, really interesting because the guy basically he becomes the prince consort of a queen of this kind of Arabic sandy dunes Persian kind of empire, and he brings a lot of previous knowledge from our worlds to basically develop a lot of things. So basically develop glass, develop mechanical stuff, so water wheels and windmills and so on and so forth. It's pretty interesting to read, and it's really, really well done. This one is really nice. I really recommend this. Now, next one is I started reading, I think the English name is Helpful Fox Senko-san, Sewayaki Kitsune no Senko-san. It's pretty cute, it's pretty wholesome for not only that, but it vibes with me way too much in so many ways. To see a guy suffer from stress on his work, and then he goes to home as he's living alone, and then there's this kitsune who cooks for him, do the dishes, washes his clothes. I mean, and then she's cute, and she actually likes the guy for him being there, and basically it is really nice, and it vibes way too much with me. And I hope this is not coming out in a weird way, but it vibes with me in a spiritual level because the guy suffers from a lot of stress, and I can relate way too much with him. I don't, and also, and this is also a good note to keep here. On the omakes, the author comments a lot about his, let's say, creative process of writing this series, and one of the things that I really like when authors do is so one day I was on my chair like, oh my god, I really want a kitsune caretaker, and he just started writing it, and I was like, yeah, this is the one. I like this manga in way too many ways. So next one is Ship Princess in Wolf's Clothing. I think this one started way back and just ended in 2023, 2022. I don't actually remember the exact date that this ended, but it is a really nice story, Yuri story where, and this is all kind of representative. I don't actually know. Basically, there are ship people, there are wolf people, there are hyena people. Hyena people really. I mean, hyena people on a Yuri story, if you know what a hyena is, hyena Yuri, it's kind of strange. Anyways, that's not the point. The thing is, so there are wolf people and sheep people, and one of these wolves, called Aki, is basically, she enters the royal palace of the sheep people to work as a butler, and then she's promoted more or less to be the mentor, the home teacher of the youngest princess. I can't actually remember her name. I think it's Mimi, but I could be wrong. So basically, she gets to teach her, and then they develop a romantic relationship, and then there is this whole thing where, oh, I'm a peasant, you are royal, I can't be with you, and so on and so forth. And it's really nice, really cute, and the art style, oh my god, the art style is so pristine, it's so nice. I love the art style of the series. I love the way they do it. The ending, in my opinion, is somewhat cheesy. It's kind of pretty cheesy actually, but it is a good time reading. It's really nice. Highly recommend it. Next one is one that, oh my god, this is the cure for depression. It's really nice. I hold on. So this one is The King's Daughter. Let's try this again. The Demon King's Daughter is Way Too Kind. It's really nice, cute. Oh my god, I die every time I try to read it because the main girl is so cute. So basically, the whole setting is fantasy world, whatever. So the Demon King has a daughter, and this daughter is really young. So she's like 3 years of age, 4 years of age, and she's running around all happy and so on and so forth. And the thing is, all the demons expect her to be evil, right? To be cruel and stuff. But she's really kind to everyone. Doesn't matter who it is, and doesn't matter the time or place or whatever. She's an angel, but born a demon, and it is really cute the way they portray all her adventures, and the way that she deals with problems, and problems arise, and she doesn't actually make much of it, and it is really nice. I highly recommend this one. Oh my god, this is a really nice one. Next one is one that I am not really stoked about. So when I said I was working on profiling authors in the future, the first one that came to mind when I thought of this idea was Yamaguchi Mikoto. That is one of the main active authors that I like a lot. I like all his works for the most part, and this one is one of his works, though I do not recommend it because I think it's the worst one he ever written. Tomodachi Game, I have, people may know it pretty well. It's has already had a season in anime. It is still going. It's somewhat nearing its end. I don't actually know when, but the end is somewhat near from what I can gather from the story. I would just say that I don't like how it's going. I think it's being held back by the fact that they are trying to keep it safe for major publications, and to maybe gather a second season. This is just a theory, okay? I can't really prove it, but it feels like whenever they try to go hard, as all the Yamaguchi Mikoto's works go, and for that matter, I have read almost everything that he's put out in the last since 2008 from when he first published something. So I'm pretty. I want to say that I'm pretty familiar with his stuff. I don't actually like Tomodachi Game because I think it's being held back by some kind of censors. I don't know if the editors, I don't know if the publication is holding it back to be picked up by normal media, let's say. And the trope is getting pretty stale at this point. The point in the manga that we are, it's pretty bad. The whole thing's crumbling apart, and they basically they changed the main character in the last few chapters that I read. So I don't know. It's getting kind of stale at this point. Stale and boring for the most part, because you already know how this is going to end, right? So after this one, next one, I need to do this one first. So Yuri Love Slave, a content warning, although it's not that big. It shows a bit of boobies and some of the I mean, it doesn't actually show the other things other than boobies, but the idea is there. And it's basically as written, Yuri Love Slave. It's Yuri, it's love. The slave part, kind of stretch. It starts as it, but it mellows out. It becomes more romantic. It's somewhat cute. It's getting cute. I don't know. I can't really build a defense for this one, but if you want it, you got it. So now I need to cover the ones that I skipped. First one is, let's say, my baby. My baby. The one that I picked up as my baby for this year, Oshinoko. Oshinoko, I don't actually need to talk about it much. But oh my god, this manga really took me for a ride. I published the video. If you have not watched it, it's on YouTube. My impressions on Oshinoko as of the chapter 121, I think, or 123, I don't actually remember. Oh, it's wild. It's wild. I love it. I love the symbolism. I love the whole idea, the whole premise. It's really nice. I'm trying to not be spoiled because I basically stopped after the 1, 2, 3. After I released the video, I basically stopped reading it because I want to actually let it stock up. Then I will binge read it whole. But from the little things that I saw, let's say Yosuga no Sora vibes. I hope that meme is just a meme and not an actual thing, because if it becomes an actual thing, then oh my god, this is kind of messed up. But at the same time, it will add a whole lot of value on my eyes, because it will add way more nuance to the story. Anyways, that's it. Oshinoko, pretty nice, pretty good. Go read it if you want to see some drama, and a whole lot of drama. Oh my god. Anyways, next one. This I have skipped 2 more that I will talk about now, because they are both getting anime adaptations for 2024 confirmed. I'm really hyped about it because I love these ones, and I really like that they are getting actual adaptations to be exposed to more people. I think it's really nice. It helps a lot authors, and I think that this adds up to the whole thing. I love when I start manga and it is really, really good, and the manga eventually gets an anime. It feels like me being a fan helped someone to go to a higher level. Let's say I'm cheering for the author and their story to reach more people, because I believe that their content is really nice. So the first one about it is Whispering You a Love Song. It's a Yuri story. It's pretty normal in many ways. It's a Yuri love story about 2 girls, that basically one of the girls plays, I think, guitar. I don't actually remember if it's guitar or bass, but and the other girl is a normal girl that basically falls in love with her senpai, and the whole thing goes as this. It's a love story. It's a normal school love story kind of stuff. Yuri. It's pretty good. I highly recommend it. And the next one, this one is my actual baby for 2024. I hope the manga continues because, let's start at the beginning. The name of this one is An Archdemon's Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride. It's an adaptation of a light novel of the same name. And oh my god, I sincerely think that the adaptation may be getting more readers than the actual novel itself. I don't actually know if that's true, but oh my god, that this adaptation is by far the best adaptation of a light novel I ever seen. Or maybe the things that they present on the manga is just the right things to up the content to my taste. I don't actually know if that's the case, but oh my god, this thing's so good. So basically, there's this mage, sorcerer, I think they call it, Zagad. I don't actually remember many of the names, so bear with me here. So there's this guy called Sagard, and then he's a sorcerer. He's somewhat rich, although he is a loner. He has this gloomy lone wolf kind of somewhat violent air to him, and for one reason or another he gets dragged into a slave auction and by one of his acquaintances, and basically he sees a high elf and falls head over heels first sight for the elf and buys her outright, paying way too much money. And he does that, he gets her home, and then he goes like, oh shit, I bought her. How can I confess now? Because I love her. How can I confess now? Oh my god. And then the whole thing goes that they build this really cute relationship. Oh my god, it's so cute. And then the one thing that really gets me going on this is that every time he tries to be romantic about it, he tries to talk to her normally, and then he just gets stuck up on his ways of being a loner and really awkward, and everything comes out way wrong, but the outcome is still really cute. And then he gets flustered and she gets flustered and both of them gets flustered. It's really cute. It's so sweet. Later on, now how do I say about this part? This is somewhat of a spoiler, okay? So if you don't actually want to hear it, please skip this part. I don't mind. 30 seconds. I don't know. 10 seconds. They get a dragon. She's a loli. She's basically the second incarnation of Kana. And oh my god, she's so cute as their child. It's really nice. So I don't actually think that I used the 10 seconds. If you skipped it or not, I am sorry. Outside from this spoiler, I'm not even making sense anymore. Because I remember how oh my god, how I like this one. And this is getting an anime adaptation in 2024. Really nice, really cute. Oh my god. Please read it, watch it, buy the merch when it comes out, buy the manga, I don't know. This one is so nice. It really resonates with me because when I first started actually reading manga, when I basically went past anime and actually said to myself, okay, I'm going to start reading manga for real, the one thing that I wanted was a story with romance and action, and it needs to be both and be good. This one, The Archdemon's Dilemma, is very... I don't want to say that it is it, because it feels like I've completed my quest and now I need to get another one, but it is way too close to it. It forces me to say that I found it, but I don't want to admit it. It is really, really, really nice. Oh my god. The action also, it's pretty nice to see the fights that they get into with these other sorcerers and demons and dragons. It's really, really nice. Oh my god, highly recommend this one. So now that and this basically is the list for 2023. This is the update for it. So next thing that I need to do is to give you guys, just as I wanted to add a bit to it, is the things that are nearing its end and they actually ended from the last list. So First one to the ending, to the things that actually ended. Gunbunnet Sisters, as I already commented, the ending felt quite rushed. I really wanted to read more of it. I really liked that setting. I really liked the characters and the whole fighting. And oh my god, that guy writes. I need to actually look up this guy's name later. This guy, oh my god, he draws a lot. And again, I love the setting. Next one is Happy Negative Marriage. Apparently, the last 2 chapters got released. I don't actually know if my timing is right. Maybe I'm just fumbling it, and the translators just released it now because someone got to translate it because it was dropped since 2010, 2020. I don't actually know, but it appeared as completed for me this past few months. I haven't actually read any of it, so I don't actually know how it ended. I can't give a definitive answer about the ending. Next one is Sex and Dungeon. The ending was, I don't know, fitting somewhat. It kind of became something constructive by the end of it. I don't know, somewhat okay. At the end of the day, I don't actually know. It was okay, as I already said. Next one is, I don't actually know if I'm right about this, if it ended in 2023 or 2022. I may be wrong. Sorry about that. It's Shikimori-san Isn't Just a Cutie. Ended. I don't actually know the ending because I'm at the middle of it, so I can't give status or maybe diagnostic about the whole thing. Maybe later I'll do a review. I don't know. Next one is Vampires, My Fellow Vampires. It ended. The ending was pretty bad. They pulled a Deus Ex Machina at the end that I really didn't like, and they really pulled a whole lore dump to justify the ending. I don't actually know why they did this. It is a happy ending, which is okay. I mean, it's nice, but the way that they did it, kind of iffy on that. I don't know. Next one. These next 2 ones are near end, so I don't actually know if they will have many volumes. If not, the volumes are already out. I know for a fact that one of them are basically waiting to be translated, from what I can remember. The first one is Ikusakoi, or Foul Love. This one is near the end. There was a twist in one of the later chapters that, oh my god, the twist was really bad. I don't actually know how they will actually save it, but still, I'm down for it. I like the manga. And the next one is Tamaroa, the one about the marriage game from Yamaguchi Mikoto. I have read that it only has 1 more volume to come out, and then it's over. I don't actually know how this is going to actually work out at the end, because I don't actually think that it should be that near the end, though I could be wrong. I don't know. It's just my feeling. And now I can really say we are done. This is the update for 2023 of my to-read list and my manga list in general. Outside from that, I want to do a bit of year-end review, just to, I don't know, just to give a vibe to it. So 2023, what can I say about 2023? So we started the year with the general introductions. This, I think, was me trying to actually, let's say, introduce myself to a more casual people. And this is really personal on how I think about this project and so on and so forth. So if I start getting a bit too personal, sorry. So this start of the year, I really wanted to dab into the more casual crowd. The thing that I see a lot of my analytics and people saying out there is that there are a lot of people, and it may be better to try to get more of the casual public into the whole anime community and so on and so forth. So my introductions to the genres were basically my attempt to actually maybe hook some people up. Maybe you're looking for horror, isekai, you want the explanation for what's an isekai, what's an mahou shoujo, or hair and so on and so forth. That's basically what I was trying to do with that. I would say it was I don't actually know if I've ever commented this, but as this is a solo running show, everything here goes on my whims. So if I think something on that week, I will do it with not much of a plan to it. I plan out my episodes and everything else, but the pivots that I do are just like, oh, I thought about this, I want to do it. And so basically, for the most part, this was the first part of the year. We did it until June, with this, which is half the year going after more casual people that maybe don't actually know about much of anime and need actually introductions, recommendations, so on and so forth. Next one, it was I started the whole story about the age of the 2010s with High School DxD and then Trinity 7 and so on and so forth. That one was really nice. I think the biggest episode of this year was the High School DxD one, the first 3 seasons, and then the 4th season was, I think, the second best. It is to say that a whole lot of people still like that series, I think. A whole lot of people want to find more content about it, I don't know. Though, well, I don't actually know much what to pick up from it, but this one was one that actually got somewhere. I think the overall story of how things worked out didn't actually reach many people, but I think the experience was good. I know now what to focus more rather than the other things, and so that's this it. In the middle of it, and I need to give a huge shout out to the Animaniacs. I need to give a huge shout out to Lamb and Beef from the Animaniacs that basically they reached out to me and we planned together a collab. We did the collab. The collab came out in July. They are really nice people. I really like the interaction. I think Lamb is the one person that I'm most talking about anime and manga with him. And nowadays, follow him on Twitter. I will, him and Beef and the Animaniacs site and so on and so forth. I will leave their links in the description. Really huge shout out to these guys. Really like working with them. I hope as of time of writing, we are planning on collabing in the near future. So watch out for it. Again, I really like the opportunity they gave me, this opportunity of working with them, doing some stuff with other creators on the space, which is really nice. Basically that's it. Huge thank you to them. Next one that I did after the harem ecchi kind of stuff on 2010s, I went into this really just throw something at the window. I don't know. There were things that I wanted to talk about. The first thing was painting and stalking, because at the time it came out the announcement that Trigger actually bought the rights from Gainax and are basically, I don't know if rebooting or they are actually doing just the sequel for it. But Painting and Stalking coming back is years, many years, dreams of so many people that wanted to see what would happen, because the ending of the first season leaves on such a cliffhanger. And oh my god, it was a dream come true to see that announcement that they bought the rights. And oh my god, it's just so nice. Let's see what the future holds. This may be really good. So next one was me just hitting things out of my bucket list. So Engage Kiss, which was really terrible anime. I don't actually like it. I think I made it pretty clear in the review. I don't like it. Licorice Recoil, which I like, with the caveat that I feel like they didn't go hard enough, or they held back because of censors and some other stuff just to keep the rating down. As I said in the original review, I cannot confirm that, but it feels like they undermine the writing. If they did that, it feels like they undermine the writing, because I think the ending, outside from the earlier cheesy stuff that happens, the ending is extra cheesy because it doesn't actually explode on them and stuff. But the thing is really nice. The concept is really good, but again, I think the implementation was a bit shoddy. Then next was Bushido Rock, that I wanted to watch because, I mean, this is basically a evergreen meme now. Everything anywhere can be related to Bushido Rock, and I really liked it. The comedy is pretty good. It's pretty well made. The whole thing, it's really nice to watch. I didn't feel like I was as much related to Boshi as some people say they are, though there are some parts that are not comfortable for me to say that I related to her, though there were. It's a really nice anime. Maybe I'll pick up the manga, maybe, I don't know. And then last episode was the full analysis of Kaguya-sama Loves War, the manga. What can I say? Kaguya-sama was one huge thing that happened in the anime manga industry. The first anime to actually bunk Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood from the top of my anime list in many years. The one that actually birthed so many memes that we can actually keep count of, and the whole overall influence of its characters, and now the author Akasaka that basically made Oshinoko take the tailwind of Kaguya to blow itself out of the water, and now it's up there with the top dogs of the current being published manga. Really, just a really nice story overall. As I said in the analysis, I don't actually like the way that they ended, because I think it kind of disconnects a bit too much, and some of the endings feel a bit wishy-washy with the way they are presented. But in a way, as I saw in one of the reviews in my anime list, I mean, how did the guy say? This was not that impressive of a romance story, but oh my god, if the characters won't leave with me now. And that's basically the story. We can argue that it was not that incredible, but oh my god, the characters are unforgettable. I think nobody that actually liked the anime and the manga will ever leave and not remember Chika, for that matter, or remember Kaguya. And for me personally, at the release, I will never forget Aoi Koga's voice when she is Kaguya, because, as I said multiple times, she's the perfect Kaguya. I could not ask for a better casting than Aoi Koga doing Kaguya, because she encapsulates every facet of Kaguya. The flustered, the ice queen, the cute Kaguya-chan, oh my god, that scene's too cute. And that's basically it. The Kaguya-sama Loves War. I wanted to put a bow on it because I would not say it's the first, but it's one of the few mangas that I started when it started, and I ended it near the end when it ended, and I actually got to see everything happen, and the progression of the story and progression of the characters. I feel like this is the bow that I would need to put on it to say goodbye to a great. Those are my thoughts at the very least. So now that I talked about everything else, I'll not stretch this way more. So just as closing thoughts, basically for the next year, I don't actually have any plans. I wanted to actually maybe cut down on the production of episodes, because for the foreseeable future I'm pretty stacked at work, though I cannot give I cannot bring myself to give certainty to that. I cannot bring myself to do it. I wanted to maybe do it one time a month, but that feels way too few. But something that I am thinking about, I don't know. Maybe not. I will find a way. Let's say. On a less serious note. So basically, if you guys are somewhat connected to the things I'm doing, if you actually read the description and see that some things changed, basically, first thing, Apple killed the Apple Podcast app. I just wanted to say that. I don't actually know if many people used it for one, but if you used it and found me through other means, so basically Google killed that out of nowhere. Outside from that, talking about platforms, so I ended up creating Twitter, an X. I'm not that active. Mostly you see me reposting cute art, maybe some hentai, and shit posting on replies to other people, and sometimes maybe shit posting on my own. I have nearly no followers there, and I'm not that active, so sucks to be me. But still, create an X. If you want to follow me. I can't promise that I will post much. Next thing, I created a Twitch. I've streamed like 3 times since then. The VODs are nowhere to be seen anymore because Twitch doesn't actually keep VODs for much time when you're not affiliated, so you have to take my word for it. I want to do more stuff on Twitch, but the timing at the end of the year is not helping a lot. I have been streaming Cyberpunk, and when I stream, though, I want to basically do the ending of Phantom Liberty, and then I will maybe stream my roguelikes that I really love. Those are the things that I love a lot. Anyways, the thing is, I stream on Twitch sometimes. If you want to know my schedule, maybe it is there, maybe not. I don't promise to stream every week. I have a day job. I can't like keep up with everything. But still, if you want to reach out to me, I have an X, I have the Discord. You can send me an email also. So, anyways, I'm being pretty open here. No script and no nothing. So basically, I created an X. I created Twitch. I'm up on YouTube as always. I want to do more videos next year. I don't actually know if I can, because every one of my ideas is either really time intensive or really hard to develop. So I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. And for next year, I'm thinking about starting the year. I don't know if the whole year or just a part of it, but next year I want to do a deep dive on idols. This is basically a spoiler for next year. I want to do a deep dive on idols, and I want to watch a whole lot of idol anime, so be ready for that, I think. Unless also, obviously, if something comes up, some big announcement, some big stuff happening, I don't know, Infinite Stratus 3, or I don't know, someone found the hidden manuscript for High School of the Dead. I don't know, many things can happen in 2024, and I will adjust to it. I will keep going on. If you don't actually want to reach out through the Discord or Twitter, whenever something kind of big happens, I post it on the community tab on YouTube. Outside from that, I don't know. I mean, I don't talk a lot by myself, so if you want to talk, reach out. Mention me on Twitter. I will reply to you most likely. Don't ask what tags I like. I don't know. I'm just talking shit right now. I don't actually know how to end this, but well, let me not stretch this anymore because I still have to edit this. So thank you guys for the amazing year. We really grew in so many ways. Let's see how next year is going to work out. If you guys are still listening to me babbling for whatever reason, so let's see how 2024 works out for you guys. I know this comes out in November, but I have to give you guys the biggest thank you. The show grew a lot. I can't really share how much, but it grew a whole lot since 2022. Somehow, a whole lot of people have been started to listen to it, and we are here now. I've done my first collab with someone else, and it's kind of trying to pick up steam. So I'll see if next year I can push out more content, more stuff. One more thing that I now remember that I need to talk about is I will start to actively use my anime list as a repository to shows that I watched and the things that I'm working on, shows and manga. So if you want to see my whole library of manga that I finished and so on and so forth, not only the list from this episode, but the things past the list and so on, it is there. My anime is there. I will try to add reviews for things that I don't actually think that they need a whole episode of the podcast for. I will add it there, and I'll get the link in the description too. And that's basically it. So if you want to catch me now streaming sometimes on Twitch, link in the description. My Twitter, link in the description. And that's basically it. So I hope you guys stick around for next time. Bye.